So are you ready? All right. Well, I call the meeting of Main Street Inc. Board of Directors to order. Um, First item on the agenda is public comments. Do we have any public comments? Nope, no public comments. Moving on. Items for consideration: receive a report, hold a discussion, and take action on approval of the minutes from the Denison Main Street Inc. Board of Directors meeting held on March 26. Is there a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Minutes are approved. There being no further business to discuss, I will adjourn the Main Street Inc. Board of Directors meeting. Next, I will call to order the Main Street Advisory Board meeting. Are there any public comments? Nope, no public comments. Moving on. Items for individual consideration: receive a report, hold a discussion, and take action on the approval of the minutes from the Main Street Advisory Board meeting held on March 26. Is there a motion to approve the minutes?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Minutes are approved. Moving on, receive a report, hold a discussion, and consider any adjustments to the sidewalk dining and usage policies.
Test. Okay. So several years ago, we had adopted a sidewalk dining ordinance and sidewalk usage. And, come time we got the sidewalks built and we're looking at sidewalk dining out there. And we realized I'm working with Near at 34 Chop House, and we realized there are some adjustments that need to be made to our policy. So Sam, could you pull up Near's? Yeah, I'm sorry. I think it's better if I explain it looking up from an overhead view of it, why we need the changes. There you go. Okay, so our policy states that the tables and chairs have to be up against the building. And our design committee went out and walked it. And if you put the tables and chairs up next to the building, then it's kind of wonky how the pedestrian pathway goes. And so we have looked at this. We've shown it to several different groups, the first of which was our design committee, but, staff level, and it just feels right. It felt right to me. It just feels right if the pedestrian pathway is next to the building. And that will allow for more sidewalk dining, tables, once you put them out there. And so I would propose that we don't require that they be up against the building. And then fencing is something that's been brought up. It's kind of like, do we need fencing, or do we have to have fencing? And the fence would sit on the sidewalk. It couldn't be attached, but it would have feet where it would, be stabilized on the sidewalk. And you can see there the type of fence that's proposed and what it would look like. So we're delving into the fence and if that should be required. So I guess at a staff level, that's kind of hasn't been fully vetted yet, but I would say that we don't have it in our policy. It's optional maybe as far as the fence, and then the tables and chairs and all that, that's still should be as it is. But the main thing is that we don't require the tables and chairs being up against the building. We would be able to leave a pathway. There are other requirements that it's a 6 foot from any obstacle. Sam, can you pull it down just a little bit the other way? I'm sorry, I don't say it right. If you'll notice the big white circles, those are streetscape obstacles. There's some big towers and some planters, some trees, and so you've got to be 6 foot from those. Some of the trees in the center, as you can see, on the interior of the tree, there's not a 6 foot clearance marked in that, and our streetscape designer did this layout to try to activate it. But there's not 6 foot on the interior, but there is, as you might picture yourself sitting at a table, it would be okay to be up next to that tree if it weren't necessary for walkway. There is a walkway, like a 2 foot walkway on the vehicle side. But that's the changes that we feel are necessary to this policy. I don't know, we haven't had enough time to get into a decision on if council needs to reconsider this and make adjustments, but I just wanted to get your support or not on the changes that we feel are necessary in order to activate it. One more comment. He also did a mock-up of like mid-block, like Cafe Blackbird, if they wanted to put additional trees out there, tables. And so it's a different scenario when we get to Cafe Blackbird, but it would be on the furnishing zone, which is the brick pathway farthest from the building.
What's the idea on like either awnings or umbrellas?
So the umbrellas would stay the same. The umbrellas are, they can't be branded or marked. I know it, like if you had Budweiser sponsor it, it can't be branded with that. Yeah, Sam, can you? Yeah, there we go. I'll let y'all read that. They must be free of advertisements.
And is there any, and it may not even need to be, but where they're secured with more than just set down in a weight under the.
So they don't
so they
topple
don't blow
over?
away. We were in Jimmy John's the other day, and it gets windy down this street. And his and it's done correctly, but it just lifted up and took itself down the street.
Well,
Fully extended, so I don't know if we need to put wording in there that it needs to be like tied to the
Yeah.
table or something.
so yes, I believe that would be accurate, that we should require that. It could go into a window too, or a person,
Right.
numerous things.
Is it a requirement for them to be removed, or they just stay out the whole time, like in the evenings and?
Let's see, I don't know
Like, do they
if
have to, like,
it's,
stack them up before they leave every night, or does it just stay out there all night? Like, for instance, Cafe Blackbird's not open 7 days a week. Do they
Right.
leave their tables out there all week?
I think the tables could be, I don't know about the umbrellas. I think maybe it'd be a good idea to pull the umbrellas in just because of the risk of them taking sale. But, well, at least pull them down. But the tables would, because what we're requiring is more substantial than it, you could just move in, and the space that it would take. So they would stay out there.
You know, with the fencing, would that be in just a little bit? I'm just thinking some of those really big cars that, I mean, by the time they're pulled right up to the stop, you know, the hoods are pretty far out. So, because I'm just thinking if they were further back, I mean, it's already kind of narrow if you've got big cars on both sides.
Yeah, that's kind of where we're going with the fencing. Is it necessary? Could we use planters instead to
Some
maybe
sort of
block?
visual-
Yeah, and so you might think that it would be more substantial with a planter, a heavy planter filled with dirt. So that's kind of where staff is right now. They're just unsure, but they're proposing some barrier.
And that would be, for the business owners, they would purchase that, but the
Yes.
requirement or guideline would be some sort of visual barrier, be it a fence or a planter.
Right. And again, I don't know the city's responsibility. We're figuring it out as we go. But, you know, Near proposed that he would put planters out there. They were more for a barrier than, you know, a visual barrier. And so he's willing to put the planters out there. I just don't know where that will end.
Yeah, I think either are fine, and I think it would look beautiful. And I think we do need the guidelines, but there needs to be some movement within the guidelines depending on the type of business it is and what their aesthetic is and what they would need, and how the front of their business is laid
Right,
out.
because it's very different for different locations.
Yeah, but there should be the baseline, everything needs to meet
Yes.
this level, but within that, you do what's best for your situation.
And I might add that the process for approval is for sidewalk dining as it goes through our design committee, and they decide if the look of it meets our requirements as stated in the ordinance, and then the Historic Preservation Committee looks at it.
Any other questions for Donna about the sidewalk policies? Okay. And we don't need to vote on that, right? That's just for discussion.
like for you to
Oh, okay.
just to propose that's the changes.
Okay. And specifically, what were the changes, so we get our motion?
The walkway next to the building is being changed.
You don't have to be attached to the building.
And then fencing, not required by the guidelines. It's,
Yeah, the 6 foot.
so I think a staff level variance for the, you know, the distance. Of course, in all the walkways, we would maintain the 6 feet. But next to the planters,
Yeah.
you know, maybe giving some,
So where it's applicable, considering it's a seating area.
yes,
There could be the
Yes.
6 foot variance. Okay. I'll entertain a motion if anybody wants to formulate it.
I'll motion to approve.
I'll second the motion.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign? All right, that's approved. I think those are really good changes. Moving on, receive a report, hold a discussion, and consider updates to the downtown good neighbor policy to be distributed to business owners.
So I read this to you. I would assume you've all got a copy of this. Is that correct? Okay. I read this to you last time, and I was really wanting a little bit you to be able to look at it and visualize it. And so Sam's put it on paper. We tweaked it a little bit, but it's what you saw last time. So if you could maybe take a moment and read through that, it would be good.
Donna, the late night responsibility, the first bullet, it says, to leave lights on a timer until 10 PM. Are we wanting them to go off at 10 PM, or you want lights on until 10 PM in the windows?
I would say best practices would have lights on until 10. You know, it doesn't have to be. You don't have to put your lights on, but there's a lot of people walking downtown at night, and we're missing an opportunity if we don't. So,
So it's not referring to shut it off after 10 PM?
right.
Okay.
It's just recommending. And I did stick that 10 p.m. in there because it doesn't have to be on all night. But yeah, that can be changed. But
Donna, a question I have, the noise, lights, and music. The first bullet is follow local noise ordinances and quiet hours. Is it possible to get a link or something there so people know what the ordinance is?
yes.
And under traffic and parking, the last one, it says disabled cars can only remain parked overnight. Does that mean just one night?
So it's actually 48 hours, I think.
Oh, okay.
And so if you call the police, let's say somebody's been parked in front of your business or in a city lot, then I don't think the police can do anything until 48 hours. So we could change that. But I had someone call just last week that a car that has flat tires, obviously not working, and had just been left in a lot, and
Yeah. So
wanted to
something
know what
like
to do.
disabled cars must be removed within 48 hours or something.
Written on my little note was report of abandoned vehicles exceeding 48-hour limit to police. Or we could change it totally.
So I think it's okay, in my opinion, to leave the disabled cars overnight. But then they need to move them. If they don't within 48 hours, we can call the police. I mean, these are just best practices. It's not law that people have to, the law is the 48 hours, but these are just suggestions to be a good neighbor.
Okay.
And Donna, do you want, under community engagement, address concerns respectfully and promptly? Do you prefer that to be done over Facebook, or would you rather people to call your office?
Privately.
Yeah, so maybe,
Thank you.
right? Because all Facebook does is stir up the angry
Yes,
dogs.
you are right. Thank
So
you.
maybe address concerns respectfully and promptly by calling Main Street offices.
Calling or emailing.
Mm-hmm.
Gives you an opportunity to understand what the issue is before.
Right, and stop any rumors from spreading like wildfire.
I do have one question. So special events don't pertain to like the flag ordinance, right? Like if I wanted to use a feather flag on Saturday, am I allowed to in my booth? I noticed they've been popping up more, and I saw your Facebook post, and I just read it again, so I was curious.
We typically have vendors that use.
So I think what we've always done has been vendor booths, if it's in your vendor booth space.
Okay, that would make sense because it is a special
We
event.
have according to our vendor sheet in Form 901 signs, we have the authority to come and tell you that that's not appropriate for our event.
Right.
But we don't have like a blanket rule, I don't believe, regarding vendors specifically at special events.
Okay, perfect. I just didn't want y'all to have to come tell me that I couldn't use that. I was trying to make it easy on everybody.
Bring you a copy of that.
Yeah, yeah, I was.
Sam's gonna be walking down the street with all these feather flags.
Yes, I'm like, just for one day, I promise. Yeah.
Like the Pied Piper, but
Yeah.
children, it's
Another thing too is you might want to communicate with DDI because we went and returned our DDI flag like they were giving them to us during the construction, and some people are still utilizing them, not knowing. So you might want to make an announcement saying, please return your feather flags to DDI.
Yeah, because it's construction, we've kind of just, not been a hard case about it, because you're already suffering anyway, and so we just didn't.
400 is open.
Yeah,
So, yeah. There's nobody really besides the corners that should be
Right.
still using feather flags.
Well, and DDI too could reach out
Yeah,
and say, hey, bring us your flags back.
yeah, because they're flying down the street now too.
and some of them have been tattered. I know Kathy Cobb was, noticed some tattered ones, and she had worked to, get rid of those.
And do we need to vote on this?
Yeah, we made some adjustments, so I would like, since you've now seen it, that we approve with adjustments.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve adjustments for the good neighbor policy.
A second?
All those in favor say aye.
Right.
Any opposed, same sign? All right, good neighbor policy passes. I like that we're doing this. I think that's great. Oh, there's someone we know.
Can y'all post it in the Facebook group
Mitch.
and pin it to the top?
And send it to what?
to the Facebook Downtown Business Owners Group so everybody sees it and pin it so people can have a friendly reminder.
Okay, moving on from good neighbor policy, receive a report, hold a discussion and consider adopting a kindness campaign initiative. Tell us more.
I received probably a couple of months ago in the mail this nice little folded magazine article and a note from a citizen, I would assume. I didn't know the person, but they saw the article showed where in different cities across the United States they're doing a kindness campaign, a kindness policy. And I thought, that's something simple that we could do. And I plan to bring it, it's not something that's urgent, but I plan to bring it to the board. And then this week I just saw something like Carly at Cafe Blackbird had made a post. Somebody was not very kind to them on social media, of course, when they had to close. They had some plumbing problem, I think, and they had to close. Well, they didn't want to be closed. But the person was just crude and, said, well, every time I come, y'all are closed. And so things like that are hurtful. And while ChatGPT advised against any negativity like that, saying you got to be kind, I think us just having a culture of kindness is a good idea. And I think for the most part we are. It's sometimes on social media, people are not always as kind as they would be in person. And so I'm just proposing that we do it. I looked at some different kindness policies or campaigns, and I'm not certain of the affiliation and the reasoning. Like some of them are from religious organizations, some of them are from different groups that I haven't vetted out, and it looked like it wasn't, there wasn't anything wrong with it, but it wasn't necessarily just fit just for our downtown. So I don't know that we want to align with any policy. It's just the culture of kindness. And so I did come up with a name, proposed name. It doesn't matter what it is. Kindness lives here, downtown Denison. And so the kindness kit maybe that we could have to give to business owners would be a decal, kind of a kindness zone or something that could be vetted, but just the concept. We could have counter cards with kindness messages. Caught being kind, like if I saw Wendy and she had done a kind thing, then we could, post it on social media and things like that. And it's just creating a culture versus a campaign where you feel like you are obligated to find something kind, like not one a day, one a week necessarily. Just when you see something, call it out and, give them a kudos for being kind. And it can, it can expand, and we can send it to a committee and let them vet it. But this was just a thought based on the correspondence I got that it might be a good thing to spread kindness.
I love that idea, and to really cultivate a culture of kindness and just whatever we can do to bring it to the forefront so people see it and think it, so it continues to bring it to the front of their mind again and again. I love that. And even stickers in the visitor center. Kindness lives here, Denison, Texas. Downtown Denison, kindness lives here.
Reminds me of the rocks that people put out.
That's what I was thinking. We could even do, like rock painting booths at
It's a very
the
good
different
idea.
events that we do.
Kindness rocks.
Yeah, they have you
Yeah,
seen
they
them?
do.
The kids put them around, like
Mhm.
the plant. We find them like in our planters
They're
and
all
all
Yeah,
that.
I find them hidden in my flower bed over on Woodard Street, and it makes my day.
Yeah.
I like the kindness rocks for the Denison rocks, those are really cute.
And that would be an easy,
I was gonna say, it's easy to piggyback off that,
Yeah.
because it's already got it all.
and it spreads out because people come here to do that. Or they need to start doing it. There was a rather angry Facebook post about where are the rocks. Like you hide them and you hold them and you control access to the rocks. So would you please release them?
Maybe we can talk with Artworks about even setting up a booth to do that?
Yes.
An event?
I've made contact with Goodwill Artworks to do, because I think that's something that their classes could, and programs could probably already do, and then if that's a base that people can go do that stuff, so that's in the works.
Love it. Love it.
Do we have an art, like, do we have one of those, like, painting with a, is that what you're speaking of? Do we have one?
No, down like on the 500 block, yeah, it's a art studio that like Goodwill set up that has classes and all kinds of stuff for a bunch of different.
They have tables where you could actually create, and that would be a nice thing. I really like that concept to tie it into the rocks because we have a Facebook page. We started it several years ago. Volunteers just came to us and asked us, and so there was a lot of energy behind it at that time. And I think it was kept up. We even had a sponsor at Music on Main that would sit out there and help the kids paint rocks. During COVID, I guess it went away, and so it's kind of been quiet for the most part. But there's people that would like for us to bring it back. So our Facebook page has had a lot of advertising on it. Because of the nature of the rocks, we've let people post freely on it. Well, they posted advertisements. And so I've tried to go through there, and you can require approval from certain people. And so if I talked to one and that stopped. The others, you can require approval for their post. And I don't even know if they're from Denison. I doubt they are. But they're just posting advertisements on there. And so we're going to have to create some more posts on the site to bury those, as the deeper they get. But yeah, we're supportive of it, and we're watching it now more closely. There are some, like, we just can't delete the post because the city, wants freedom of speech and people to be able to post on Facebook freely. So we can't delete them, but we can require approval for certain things. And so we've done that. But the general public, if you're a rock painter, then you should be able to post freely.
And we need to vote on this as well.
Please.
All right, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll second.
Or somebody needs to make the motion.
Oh. I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Yay, kindness campaign. Or initiative, what are we calling it? Kindness. Not campaign, what was it?
Yeah, kind of campaign.
Yeah, you said about the culture as well, didn't you?
Yeah,
Kindness
but what
culture.
did you say? All right, moving on, special reports, music friendly. So not only are we kind, but we are friendly.
So we had our Oh, I guess that was last week. So we have our Music on Main announcements already out, so that'll be this summer. We're really excited about that. Last week we had our annual busking event. It was a little bit, well, it wasn't just a little bit, it was cold on Saturday. So I think it was a little bit less foot traffic, but we had our committee meeting yesterday, and I need to go back to the previous years, but I think the tip amounts were pretty similar to the previous years, so that's good, at least for our musicians, and we'll typically supplement that to make sure everyone's getting a pretty good spread. But yeah, we're still continually working on the Rhythm and Rails Festival. That'll be on September 12th. And we're going to start, we've got some good commitments from people like Wendy and Rebecca for hosting music. But we want to reach out to more so we can make it more of just music all over downtown. So we're looking forward to that.
Was that it on Music Friendly? Yes. All right, TERS number 3 and designing downtown Denison.
So I sent out an email last night about, well, yesterday afternoon actually, about the schedule, the updated schedule. So we do have a schedule update. The Fannin intersection will be open on 5/22, I believe. Yeah, 5/22. And they're still, you know, in the 300 block, how they came back and around the planters, they had to work. They were able to leave the streets open while they did it, but they took up a couple of parking spaces maybe. So that could be the case at the Fannin and Main intersection, but they will be able to open that on 5/22. And then pretty much everything else is going to be August 6th, except for the 300 block, and that should open 4/24. That's tomorrow. Anyway, this is the half of the block. Yes.
What Grant say?
The music alley.
Oh.
In the 300 block. So everything else is set to open August 6th. So that's our new completion date, and you know, of course, weather permitting. But I feel like
that
that's.
includes Heritage Park?
Pardon?
That includes Heritage Park?
Yes. So it'll be ready and tested out for our September 12th event. And it would meet me on Main Day. So that's also good.
Are you gonna do some sort of like ribbon cutting or anything for the park?
We are, I haven't really brought that up a whole lot because it involves the same people that are making the hard decisions on keeping it going. And so I was really more concerned with getting it completed than having the ribbon cutting. I'm thinking ahead, but everybody else is just, you know, trying to get through it. And so now that we have this date, I will be able to do that. But it was so tentative that, yeah, there was just uncertainty. But I felt pretty confident if the weather will cooperate, you know, no long stretches of rain, that we'll be able to make that date. And that does include everything.
All right, is that everything for now on TERS and designing downtown Denison? Great. All right, moving on to IPI. Seen the signs out, they're great.
Yes, and Sam, I would guess that we can take that off. I forgot to tell you. Yeah, we can take it off the agenda. But I will tell you that in the streetscape, there will be medallions placed along the sidewalk periodically, and that will go through phase 1 as well. And so they'll do phase 2 and phase 1 at the same time.
All right, Doc Holiday.
It's this Saturday. Everything's set in place, so we're excited to have it back. The weather's looking better, like it's not going to be raining, so knock on all things wood. But yeah, we're looking forward to it. As always, it'll be from the 700 block to the 100 block. We have stuff in throughout the whole district, and we're looking forward to it. Do y'all have any questions regarding Doc Holiday? Cool. Oh, yes, yeah. Oh, yeah, so we also have a box at the visitor center. So if you'd like to grab some, I'm just not sure we're gonna have time this week to pass them out to everyone. So please go grab some if you want from the visitor center. And now, but
Thank you. Oh, these look great.
yeah.
Oh my gosh, there's so much going on. Rain or shine. Yeah, I think that's great. It looks beautiful.
Please note the map in the center. And the kids scavenger hunt will be, you can pick them up at the information booth. The 3 information booths will be at the Katy Plaza, the 500 block, the petting zoo, and then the 700 block of Main. And they will have some in the visitor center as well. But you return your scavenger hunt completed to the visitor center for a prize. And the public restrooms, we'll have public restrooms at those 3 locations. And then, of course, the visitor center as well.
Anything else? All right, moving on. Eisenhower's birthday.
Let's see, we don't really have anything new. Everything's in good shape. It's already planned. We have last year we had an SR-71 pilot that spoke, and we're having another SR-71 pilot speak at this year's dedication. This one was the fastest speed ever recorded, so we're comfortable that we have a very, very worthy speaker for sure.
Any questions? Okay, moving on to our committee reports. DDI.
Hunter's a new board member.
Oh, yes, that is true.
Ashlyn, were you able to go to that last
I
meeting?
wasn't able to make it. I was out of town.
Okay. I was also. So,
We went last Tuesday, I thought.
Okay, I was told it was a board member only meeting last Tuesday. That's why I turned around. Okay. That's when I got the text that I was on the board.
Oh,
Or I
well,
would
there
have
you
been
go.
there. Yeah, no, I turned around. I was so confused. I was like, I think we've had a meeting.
driving in circles.
I was like, I am so confused at what's going on. Oh, well, I'll be at the next one. Yeah.
All right,
So,
actions pending.
Mitch is our representative of DDI, and he's closed his business, and so he's resigned from the DDI board. We didn't hear anything on this board, but that would indicate that he's not representing them, so.
Okay. All right, moving on to the Chamber of Commerce.
Diana's not here, but I know they had their clay shoot on Friday. I talked to them yesterday, and they said it went really well. So
Good.
that's all really information I really have. But they said it went really well.
There is the ribbon cutting this afternoon.
Oh yeah, Texoma FC at 3:00. Yep, 3:07. They'll have their ribbon cutting, so we're excited to have them downtown. Yeah, they'll have home. I don't have the dates in front of me, but they'll have home. I think it's like 7-ish home games. That'll be at Munson Stadium. So
Oh, fun.
yeah, so that's the Munson Stadium's their new home field. So we're excited to have them.
What do they call the soccer, what do they call that team again?
Texoma FC.
FC, Fight Club, or some FC. Because they came in and gave us all flyers. He's like, we're with FC. I'm like, is there a Fight Club? He's like, no, ma'am.
Yeah, kind of counter to our kindness campaign.
Yeah.
but-
I don't have any kids in soccer, can you tell?
I grew up playing soccer, I'm gonna call it Fight Club.
Yeah,
Fight Club, I was
yeah.
like, this is the new event.
That's why we're having the kindness initiative to kind of.
Right, balance.
We got a fight club and kindness.
There's a club for all the fighting, see
Yeah.
what we did?
Keep it contained.
But they gave us all a schedule, their schedule. They dropped everybody off.
They do. They have made strides to really ingrain themselves in the community, and the George has a partnership with them too, right?
Yeah, we do, and we're gonna be holding watch parties, for both games, home and away.
So this year is even more significant because of the World Cup coming, and a lot of that's in the Metroplex, and so they feel, and I agree that the interest for soccer is going to be strong this summer, and so hopefully we can capitalize on that. And they're wanting to work with the businesses, so they've talked about some different promotions. I'll wait on the details on that, but they are interested in helping and working with the businesses.
Good. That's exciting. Okay, moving on to tourism and CVB.
Hello. So I'll just provide a quick update on the progressive dinner. So we ended up having 82 participants. Just a reminder, we were going to cut it off at 50. And so the engagement and excitement for it was really strong. And we had great business owners and supporters that wanted to keep registration going. So really great event. Hopefully we can do more in the future. And we had a lot of positive feedback from both businesses and participants. So that's a really good sign that this was wanted in the community. And so, again, hopefully we can do it. Thank you for all y'all's participation.
Jordan, what was the issue with the alcoholic beverage thing, and how do we change how that is handled in the future?
So the city can't pay directly for alcohol.
Okay.
And it was just how I coded the expenses
Right.
to pay y'all out. I just used the wrong GL code.
Okay.
So, I mean, that was on me.
Right.
Because I used one that was a general fund for taxpayers, and I was supposed to use the Main Street Inc. one, which is a nonprofit jail code where that stuff can be used, and that's what they use for the wine walks.
I guess it was
so-
just protective, when you had to go, wait a minute, I was like, okay, how do we protect you next time around, right? Because technically, it's not forcing people to make that alcoholic beverage stop. I mean, I think that that's one of the things that I was thinking is the progressive dinner ticket doesn't say, you must consume alcohol. Please
Yeah.
proceed to the next liquor stop, So I don't know. So it was just kind of on the
Yeah.
billing side.
Yeah, it was just I coded it wrong, and it's just lack of knowledge for me. Everyone thinks that I've been in this position for 10 years, and I haven't. But Donna's been nice
But also
enough
it's
to let
how
us.
you market it, and
Yeah.
it's not we're buying you drinks, come downtown,
Yeah.
kind of deal. I didn't think that.
I think it was just y'all's invoice directly said Homestead Winery. So if someone were to audit the city, they'd be like, probably bought alcohol. And so that was the thing. It was a safety net for potential auditing, just to make
Gotcha.
sure that the city isn't using taxpayer money to directly pay for alcohol. So
Right.
that's why there's this separate account that takes the registration sales
Right,
and just
right, it's
uses
gotta be the
that
right-
money,
it's gotta be the-
which I thought like that's what I was doing, but because I coded it wrong, it was, I created a mess, but it's been solved now.
Yeah.
Hopefully y'all have all been paid.
Yeah.
I've got your check, but it was just a misstep on my part, just due to lack of knowledge.
Yeah.
Was there any negativity that, like, as businesses and stuff, that we could do better for them next year? Well, next time we do it, or?
I think some of the comments, like negative feedback, were just very particular to those people, I think. Like, for example, they said that the Horses X portion was too small. Well, they had just had a 10-ounce steak at Lettuce Indulge. So,
Well, and isn't that
Like-
kind of the point? You go from,
Yes.
you're literally walking how many blocks and eating?
yeah.
Americans.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
Hey,
And it's
people-
like the intention was small portions, and we thought that we had communicated that well. And a couple of things were like for us, like as a team, just to know, like we should have had the menu offerings like displayed in the visitor center so that people could look at them. And it's our thinking on that was we didn't because what if someone is like, oh, I don't like this menu item, so I'm not going to go to this place and stuff.
Well,
Like,
yeah,
just
you don't want to do that either.
yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
and in the day, like, I don't know if having a menu at the visitor center would necessarily, because things have to flex. Sometimes you don't get things pulled together as a business, and it's just like, hey, why don't you just walk down around and figure it out?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because that's the point, is to walk around and maybe go into a business that you walk by, so.
yeah.
So was that just one negative comment about portion size, or?
Yeah, that was the only negative comment about that. A couple of people commented on the cigar smoke, which we knew was going to
I literally
happen.
have a decal on the front of my building
It
that says
says-
cigars, cocktails, and people will walk in and go, it smells like smoke in here.
Yeah,
You are right.
but then
You're the winner.
other people were
Yeah.
like, that was the best espresso martini I've ever had. So,
okay.
you know, like if we had told people, oh, it's a cigar lounge, what if they hadn't gone in there to try the drinks and
Right.
stuff? Like,
Well, and it's not
I-
like you hide the identity of the businesses.
No,
No,
yeah,
it's the
you can Google
culture
me on
of down
Facebook,
here.
it's all over
and
there.
that was the whole point, was to get people to go into businesses they might not normally go to and to try food items they might not normally order.
If it makes anybody feel better, we just heard all good things. Like
Yeah.
everybody's bragging about everybody's stuff to us. So it was.
Yeah, and that was
Yeah,
the
there
thing,
was
like,
nothing
everyone to us, like, was all positive, like,
right,
had a great experience, and to me, like, the people in the community, like, former mayors and city council and stuff that participated, they had glowing reviews, had a great time. They got to the George Tavern at like 9 p.m. because they had talked so much at all the other places and had so fun. So like
I mean,
things
yes,
like
it's a food and
that,
drink event, but
like-
it's also a getting together.
Networking.
yeah,
Ultimately,
exactly.
I think it served the purpose of what you guys do,
That was a great event.
right? I mean,
Yeah.
because I still hear to this day, when did Divoli's close? I didn't know you guys were down here. It's like, oh my God, just come downtown.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
come downtown. So I think it was bravo. Good job.
So when are you doing it again?
I don't know.
Okay.
That's a good question.
Let's
Maybe
take
in
a
the
break.
fall. I think maybe twice a year would be really fun.
I think so.
Devil the Echo was like, you should have this once a month. I was like,
Boy, oh boy.
like, I don't know about that,
Appreciate your
but
enthusiasm.
yeah, I think at least like a couple of times a year would be really good. And then again, we're trying to incorporate food tours downtown too, so we'll have a conversation about that soon with a company that hosts that in downtown McKinney. So hopefully he had a great time and wants to bring that here. So that's the goal, is to have something like that, you know, weekly, that we don't operate, that it's on him,
Yeah.
he handles it. So we're hoping that we can move forward with that.
What about like, I'm not in the restaurant business, so I don't know if it's feasible, and it might be too much headache. But one of my absolute favorite things to do is in Plano is Seasons 52. They have their menu, and it's constantly changing every season because it's farm to table and fresh.
Yeah.
What about every season, because it offers a different variety? I don't know if that's feasible. but then you also get more people down here all the
Yeah.
time. And like a quarterly thing that you guys can feature.
And we talked about that
Spring and
too.
That's why I think
fall.
spring
Yeah.
and fall is perfect.
Yeah. And
Summer in
also, like,
Texas is.
I think the biggest thing to think about from my
No one's
perspective
growing
is
anything in
what
summer.
is already going on downtown and where to find the spaces in between, you know, the things that really draw, that make the most sense.
Yeah.
That would be.
So that's kind of a science that you're gonna have to give yourself grace on figuring out for a year or two.
Yeah.
Cause you don't really always know, and then it's so weather dependent sometimes.
Oh,
So it's like you can find like, oh, this is gonna be a good spot, and then it's like, nah, it doesn't work.
Yeah, and I think that we'll work with the Main Street team on that too for the future, like how many we wanna host, and to like, Ashley and I are not even a year into the job, so this was kind of like a trial effort at an event.
I think it was
So-
the success to that point.
Yeah, so I think going forward, it's like, we'll have to put it in our budget to continue to host it and to host more if we choose to do that. And then too, like, how many do we think we can handle a year, you know, without burnout either?
It was
Good.
kind of funny, I got kind of thrown that night, because I was expecting, thinking, okay, well, they're going here, here, and here.
Oh, yeah,
They'll
no,
probably
no.
start coming at about this time, and then it was like quarter to, was it 6 it started, at 5 or something? And all of a sudden, people are coming in, like, oh, okay.
Here we
Well,
go.
too,
They came in
we
masses.
also got that feedback of like having like time slots and stuff, so we'll do that next year because we were not expecting 78 out of 82 people to get there at 5 p.m. And so it was like huge herds of
They
people
went
going
right
to
off
each
y'all's
spot.
thing. Yeah.
And we did get a couple of comments like on
great.
wait times. That's on us. Like that's not on the restaurants or businesses. Like that's on us for not doing the time slots. And maybe we could have different maps going different
I would
directions
think that
too.
would be better, because
Yeah.
people actually don't like the time slot situation as much as you would think that they would, because we've had different seating times for food, and they're like, I'm not coming, like, I'm gonna come at what, you know? But
I think
like
we
the
would
idea
do
of
it like
different
a
map
full
routes.
afternoon because somehow 3 hours still wasn't enough for 6 spot or
Oh,
7
that's a good
spots.
point.
Maybe
Like
if
a
you do
lunch
like a
and then.
couple of settings as well, you know, maybe there's one that's starting at like
Yes.
5 o'clock, and there's another one that's starting at, I don't know, 5:30 or something.
I think that might be how we do it and just like send people emails of like, hey, this is when yours starts, especially like the bigger groups, like maybe don't have them come right at 5. You know, because we did have that. We had a few groups that were like 8+ people.
Yeah.
And so that's already a lot to cook
They're
for,
scared to
prepare
walk
drinks
around by
for.
themselves.
So,
But we'll probably get more business too, if you've got like 2 different time slots as well.
yeah. And I think we might make it like a full like 6-hour thing. So that way people feel like they do have more time. Because it was funny to us, like, registration had closed. We closed up the visitor center, left at like 7 or so, something like that. And we were walking down to see like how it was going. And there were still people that were like at the second stop.
Yeah.
And they had an hour left. So, I mean, they were just having a really good time, enjoying themselves, talking to their friends, family, just overall, like, enjoying the event.
Which is
And-
ultimately what you
Exactly. Yeah, it was a great problem, but then they had to rush.
What other cities are doing progressive dinners like this?
We haven't seen anyone in Texas doing it. Texarkana's Main Street director reached out to me to ask like how ours went,
Okay.
because they wanted to do that for their board.
Look at you, you were
Yeah,
an
I
expert.
know. Innovator.
City
Bringing
run.
it to Texas.
Innovator.
Pioneer of
Yeah, I think
progressive
it's-
dinners.
I know.
I
I
think
need to
it's
start
great.
giving training sessions on it. How to host one. But yeah, overall, it was a really successful event. Again, thank y'all all for participating and for supporting it. And we will reach out for future dates. Bandits and Bluegrass is Friday. It's a beneficial event for the Boys and Girls Club. We have been very fortunate to get a lot of sponsorships this year, so that's going to really help out their club. And then we also have ticket sales at the visitor center for the event, and then obviously we'll have people that can buy tickets when they get to the George on Friday. It is all you can eat barbecue. The George Tavern will supply the alcoholic drinks. You have to buy them from the George. Or, yes, and we've got two really great bands that are excited to be there. Quibble Brothers and Beetlegrass. They've been there before, and they have a great crowd and following, and they always have really good time at the event. So we are excited for that.
How many tickets have you sold so far, Jordan?
Actual tickets, like 14, 15, but we've got a lot of sponsor tables, which is really good. So we're excited for that. And then, I don't know, I'm taking Ernie's word for it that a lot of people come day of. So,
I think if people come in and they see something's going on, they want to go.
yeah.
Because it's music and, food.
Yep. So, and we'll have people at the door too, just like letting them know that we have an event going on. If they would like to support the Boys and Girls Club, they can get some barbecue. So it should be a really good night. We're excited for it. And then my last update is our website launch date has been moved up to July 22nd. So now we are in the design phase where we have to start like building the content that they're going to put on the website. So providing all the pictures, the video, the blog info, just, really giving all the information that people need. We are going to start training on the system so that we can learn it better. And then hopefully, I think mid-June is kind of the plan. We'll be able to teach y'all as business owners the CRM system. So this will give you the opportunity to edit your pages. So if you do have menu updates, you want to change out your pictures, your business listing, all of that, you have the ability to do that on your own. We just approve the edits. So that'll be really cool too. And I think y'all have like the ability to, with the CRM system too, like you're able to get like more contacts and listings like for y'all's websites and your pages too. So it's supposed to be an opportunity to help y'all grow as well. But we're gonna learn more about that over the next few weeks so that we can better teach y'all what you need to know. But we're excited for it. As y'all have seen, it looks really good. Sorry, I pointed that. But in previous meetings, y'all have seen it, and the website looks beautiful. They've done a really great job, so we're excited for the launch.
Good.
Any questions
Thank you,
for me?
Any questions for Jordan? All right, well done, you. All right, promotions committee, what's happening?
Sorry, Mike. There we go. We have all the summaries in here, but one of the main things we've been working on with promotion is, so kind of like how you had talked about earlier, Kat, about ribbon cutting, is we're going to have one with the city that'll probably be during the day or something. But we talked about having one that's going to be more for the business owners and things. So to kind of go inside with tax year weekend, we talked about on.
August, like 6th or 7th, it's that weekend.
Thank you. To have an event that's going to be downtown that's for all the businesses. So more news to come about that. But we're going to call that Meet Me on Main. And that's meant to be just a weekend to celebrate all of you guys for going through construction and having the district open again. Rest of the committee reports are in the packet. I will highlight that in Economic Vitality, we're working on the Imagine the Possibilities tour. So that's something that's, oh, sorry.
I was gonna say the date, because I didn't realize I'm also on there. The date of that event is on May 16th at 12.
Yeah, so we're really excited about that.
What's date?
Imagine the Possibilities is on Saturday, May 16th.
May 16th.
It's the same day as Northwoods Arts Fest. Those are kind of, we're kind of hoping the crowd of that will come towards some of those buildings.
Yeah, we've had a lot of good success from that. Marcus Petrinicola, that's how he found out about Denison and bought his buildings. And then we skipped last year, but this year we've got quite a few buildings that are for sale or for lease. So the idea is just it's kind of like an open house. We'll have realtors at all of those.
So it's for buildings that are for lease as well?
Yes.
Perfect.
Yeah, so we'll have realtors, property owners, just showing off their building that people can come in and ask questions and kind of imagine the possibilities of that space. We work with our state architect, and he worked with a building on Woodard Street and kind of helped us visualize different ways that we could make use of that space that people can see. So we're excited about that.
The properties on the list to be, like, on the tour stops, are 100 West Chestnut, Donna, that's the Iron Horse. That's still available, right? Okay, I feel like I threw that, sorry. So 100 West Chestnut, Iron Horse, 104 East Main, that's the lot behind Eagle Employers, 116 and 118 West Woodard, 120 West Main, that's the Main Street Diner. 121 South Austin, that's Bill Kennedy's Loft on Austin. 125 West Woodard, that's Zigzag. 200 West Main on the corner of Austin and Main. 203 West Main, Old Main Street Salon and Suites. 210 West Main, that one didn't get leased, no, that was good. 210 West Main, that's Old Legal Villas, Old Monarch. 213 North Burnett, that's the First Presbyterian Church. 420 West Main, used to be Fit Bella. 425 West Main is Studebaker, and 431 is for sale, it's fully leased, but the building's for sale, that's, where Guy Brothers, Time Assuring, all that stuff.
Oh,
So another hard used to be there. Those are our stops, I think there's 14.
oh. Okay.
Yeah, so we'll have I make little goodie bags, kind of like the loft tour that I'll have at the visitor center, and I'll give those out. Just kind of a map of the locations and some of the different grants and things that we have to make it easier for people to come downtown.
How many were involved last year? How many stops were there last year?
So we skipped last year. The previous year, I believe there was 13, so about the same number. I think we actually have one or two more this year.
Yeah, we always have a couple more sign up and then they get leased in the time between signing up and then the event happening. So we had about 16 this time, and I wanna say last time we had like 17 or something, and
Yeah.
then several of them got leased.
Yeah, and we've already had some that are on there that ended up getting leased or sold. So
That's a good thing.
Yeah, yes, very good thing.
Yeah.
We would love to not even have this tour at all. It just, but it's a really cool event, and if it brings someone in that wants to develop downtown, we're excited for it. So
What time is the event?
12 to 4.
and we have an event page on the Facebook. I haven't put too much information out while we're still working on it, but it's up.
The state agency, Texas Historical Commission, they help with this event too, and so there is investment promotional materials. I think they might have, and I just have been so at Doc Holiday, I haven't looked yet, but we're gonna have some more of that stuff to promote as well.
They sent the poster,
Okay.
but they're still working on our local design mock-up, the conceptual design for 114 and 116, or 116, 118. Okay, West Woodard. Last time it was the Rialto, and I think we're one of 3 or 4 that got design services specific to our city, and so we're very fortunate in that. But I'm excited about the 116 and 118 West Woodard. He took the back of the building, and he's doing, it's open to that corner, and so I'm looking forward to seeing what they have.
Anything else for economic vitality? All right, moving on to design.
I missed the last one. So.
Okay, so, as we talked about earlier, we worked on sidewalk dining, and there was one public art piece that was approved by design, and now historic preservation has approved it. It will be a little girl and her dog, and it's was inspired by a newspaper article on the Kerrville situation, and so it was. I think if people see that, yeah, thank you, Sam. If people understand, that was just a dog comforting the little girl, and if they understand the whole story behind it, that'll mean even more to them.
Will they do like a QR code or something with the?
They mentioned a plaque on it, but I'm not certain what it's going to say.
Oh, okay. Okay, because you said Kerrville situation, I don't know
Yeah.
what that refers to.
Floats.
Oh, Camp Mystic. Oh, okay, well, that's what I know, I don't know Kerrville, so, perfect. Okay, good deal. Was there anything else from design? Okay. Organization.
We had our Big Texas breakfast at the birthplace this weekend, and that was very well attended. Thank you, Spencer, for being our star board member.
Well, thank you, thank you. The food was good.
Spencer brought his family and an aunt that was in town, so we're glad that y'all were able to come. And we had good attendance from the Arts Council and just various other people. So it was a good morning. And we also have volunteers signed up to help with the Dock Holiday Festival. A few more than we have before, so that's really awesome.
I opened up the sign up form and I was very excited. Once I got it based on, or compared to previous years, so very pleased.
And is that all for organization?
Yes, sir.
Are there any questions? Are we ready to move on to the director's report?
I think so.
Okay.
So we attended the National Main Street Conference last week in Tulsa, and it was another great year. It's been a year since we were named a Great American Main Street Award winner, and thank you. I think the big thing about that is the buzz that it's created. It validated what you guys have been doing. So, we've always known that we have a great downtown, but it's just to get people here and get the attention. So we were in Texas Towns and Cities and maybe something else in the April issue. So it's just getting in magazines and things like that. During the conference, I presented with the state architect and Mary Tate, our development services director. And there was a gentleman that came up afterward, and he had been hearing about Denison, and so he was a developer from the Tulsa area. So the word's getting out, and people are realizing that great things are going on here. And the Red River Railroad Museum opened. Jordan reminded me that they opened last Saturday. They actually were open Thursday night after the History in the Hall, hosted by the George. Thank you very much. That was a really good evening. The Red River Railroad Museum put on the program, and it was very entertaining, I thought. So that's all other than Dock Holiday. I can't think of anything else that's kind of consumed us.
I noticed a billboard on Austin this morning for Great American Main Street. Can we get one on 75, like in between Sherman and Denison? Be like, hey, go downtown.
Jordan. So Jordan worked with First United Bank on that.
They sponsored it, so didn't have to pay for it. The others I'd have to pay for. So that's another.
Maybe go to Simmons and
Yeah.
the other banks.
Have billboard wars.
Yeah, the divorce lawyer. Maybe he'll do that.
200 was made. He's on I Convention Possibility Store. Let's get him more ingrained.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm trying to find one. I don't know if we want this, but I'm trying to find one. Like whoever owns the billboard right before downtown Sherman. I think he has a billboard there right now, but I want it to say like, take this exit to Great American Award-winning downtown, like right before downtown Sherman. I want it to be a sign to come to downtown Denison because we're petty. I know we're.
Historical marker out there?
I know we're doing Partners in Progress, and we're so excited to work with them and talk about how we work together, but also, like, I'm petty, and I think it would just be kind of funny to have a billboard for downtown Denison right before their downtown exit, but it's in the works.
Okay, because that's what I saw this morning. I was like, we need one on 75. Exit here.
I'm kind of just waiting for the highway construction to finish, to see like what would be the best exits to promote and stuff. So it might be like another year.
You could be
But-
cheeky and say, it's worth it, just try to find it.
Right.
Yeah, it's
Exit
like
whenever.
yeah, it's kind of like if I pay so much for a billboard, I'm like, take this exit, then of course TxDOT is going to close that exit. So
Never exist again.
yeah, so I'm kind of just waiting until at least like the spur one is finished to see if we could get one of those too.
All right. Yeah, that's it. Wow. That's it, right. We had 3 things. Okay, well, if there's nothing else, I will adjourn the Main Street Advisory Board meeting at 9:24.